The example of Nu'man bin Thabit bin Zuta bin Ma is what? Better known as Abu Hanifa, born in 80 after Hijri, and he died in 150 according to the Muslim calendar. And what is commonly misunderstood, the Hanafi madhab is not based on the opinions of Imam Abu Hanifa by himself. In and around Imam Sahib rahimahullah ta'ala, he would have 40 such ulama and jurists that constantly would probe, constantly would look in, delve into masail, and weeks, months discussion would take place before they could come to a suitable conclusion, all established from solid, sound principles. 40 ulama. To have a bayan just on the students of Imam Abu Hanifa would be a separate sitting. Just his students. And his teachers as such, Allahu Akbar, pages upon pages mentioned in different kitabs. But keeping on more on the point, because much time has elapsed, another aspect we look at is his piety. What was his piety? You know, someone was in debt and they were going around collecting money so they could repay the debt. So they by chance stumbled on Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and they requested that, look, we are trying to repay the debt of such and such a person. So he said, why are you collecting paltry sums here and there? He asked how much was owed. He said 4,000 dirhams, 4,000 solid silver pieces of those times. At one go, without any hesitation, he gave the entire 4,000 in one go. The generosity, the piety and taqwa was what? He is recorded in regards to his life, Isha and Fajr with the same wudu. People can make i'tiraz if they want, but there are instances in his life which are found, Allahu Akbar. First of all, try and pray tahajjud, not do it for 40 years. Try and pray tahajjud full stop. And then do it in the same manner. And then also read one rak'ah in one Quran. And then you can explain, then you can debate further. The example of our fuqaha are full with this sort of examples. Bayaham, we are those people that we can't even put our head probably for farz namaz. He performed Hajj 55 times. And it is recorded that how many khatm of the Quran he made at the time of his deathbed. And according to one source, 70,000. How many? Do you know how much that is? We're not going to go into the aspect of the time and so on and so forth. I'll just mention you one instance. Dawood alayhi salam, the time he used to put his saddle on the horse and tie it, that duration he used to be able to do one whole khatam of the Zabur. One. There was one person who was making tawaf of the Baytullah, and in every chakr he read one full Quran. Time is in the hands of Allah. Time is in the hands of, this is also makhluk of Allah. So we're not going to go into this tayyul ard issue, and for example now, bati'uz zaman, this is a topic which you could go into. About, for example now, time, having lots of barakah for the pious predecessors. But even, for example, let's just say, for argument's sake, let's just say we don't accept the authenticity of this report. What about the others? You have to accept those. And when you do, you have to unanimously come to this point that alhamdulillah, the piety is without any question. Look at Malik ibn Anas rahimahullah ta'ala, born in 93 Hijri, passed away in 179. He had 900 asatiza, 900 teachers. So well versed in deen. At the age of 17, he became a teacher of hadith. With that time, you have to remember who were there. The remnants of Sahaba, they were there. The Tabi'een were there. Big ulama were there. And Imam Malik at the age of 17 teaching the hadith of Rasulullah. In Madinatul Munawwara. Such halat would come, he would have to sell the rafters of his house in order to purchase kitabs. We can't even purchase, if we got a choice, digital screen TV, £1,000 or £5 on a kitab, would say, brother, spend £1,000 on the TV. So how can we be those people that criticize these people? He would never ride an animal within Madinatul Munawwara. Why? It's possible that somewhere lies the dust which came under the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Somewhere around here, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have placed his feet. I feel ashamed. It's not halal and haram. It's an aspect of taqwa. And he himself mentions, Allah, may Allah Ta'ala give us this inshallah. He mentions not a single night goes by where I don't see the noble vision of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every night he was given this tawfiq from Allah. And once he was conducting a hadith dars, and a number of times his face kept on changing. The students then questioned him and asked, Ya Imam, your face kept on changing. What is the reason for this? And he mentioned, because I was being stung by a scorpion. And the scorpions in that sort of peninsula are deadly. One sting and we would be dead. But he stayed steadfast and was just teaching. As a result, his face, his disposition would change. But he would not have the ghairat, he would not even close the dars of Rasulullah. He could not tolerate that I close the dars of Rasulullah. Jaan jaye to jaye. Life go, no problem. But I don't want to stop the dars of Rasulullah. He himself at night sacrificed his sleep because I am afraid people might come in search of Imam Malik and ask, I need to know the solution to a dini mas'ala, a problem. And Imam Malik is asleep, there is a fear of the destruction of deen. He sacrificed his sleep at nights. Show me someone with a percentage of this taqwa. Look at, for example, Imam Muhammad bin Idris al-Shafi'i, rahimahullah ta'ala, born in 150 after Hijri, the date which, the year Imam Abu Hanifa passed away, he was born. He passed away in 204 after Hijri. Very young life. His example was what? Again, I'll give you another example of the ilm he had. He memorized Quran in a very, very tender age. According to one report, very young, only the age of 9. But the bigger accomplishment was this. From the time he could grip knowledge, he was learning. When he was 14, the Khalifa of that time gave him the ijazah to start issuing open fatwas. Age of 14. Our 14-year-olds, compare them. And you're talking, compare our modern day scholars and walis. They cannot compare to the time of these people. And one scholar, one poet actually mentions in regards to Imam Shaf'ee, beautiful. He mentions he was such that he was an imam of everything. When he would do archery, he would even score 9 out of 10. Such a perfection in all aspects. It leads me then on to the other popular Imam, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, born in 164 after Hijri, passed away in 241. And he was such, Allahu Akbar. He was known for memorizing hadith. He memorized a minimum of 1 million hadith. 1 million hadith. And every day without fail, he used to read 300 rak'at of nafl. 300 rak'at of nafl salah. Optional prayers. Prayers which he did not even have to do. And then what happened? There was a whole issue that crept up in that time. And he was imprisoned. And he was beaten so much, it mentions in the books of Tariq, if you would have hit an elephant with such a hit, even the elephant would have run with such pain. But he was beaten at the age of 80. Still, despite that, he used to pray 150 rakats of nafil. Can you imagine the piety of these people, my beloved brothers? This is just the famous 4. Why 4? It's because their fiqhs are the ones that were most best established. They established them so well, the students then propagated them further. And alhamdulillah, thumma alhamdulillah, that deen has reached us. And if you examine these 4, not a single sunnah of Rasulullah is left out. The whole issue can arise. Why this? Why not just one way and bas? The reason for this is the logical reason. Allah Ta'ala wanted to see the lifestyle of Rasulullah stay alive. So Allah made such asbab, such means. There would be such scholars that would revive every aspect of Rasulullah until Qiyamah, not even one sunnah of the beloved of Allah would die away. All sunnahs would remain alive until the day of Qiyamah. You never find people objecting. It's only now, Allah forbid, we find some people opening mouths and tongues and talking all kinds of and manners of garbage. What we say is this: before you ruin your own akhirah, look into the aspect properly. You're talking of people who the whole ummah saluted to their status. We pick up translations. We don't even know Arabic. If we do know Arabic, do we know the proper required sources, the sciences? Do we know usul? Do we know history properly? Do we know aqidah? Do we know nahu, sarf, balagha, insha? Do we know all these things? Mantiq? If, for example, we do know this, you'll find we have not mastered and perfected it. If we have mastered and perfected it, still we don't know how to deduce masail. And if we do deduce masail, we don't know whether their masail are going to be correct or not. And if those masail are not correct, ultimately it can throw us into the fire of Jahannam. Is it not just safe that those people who have exerted their whole lives, who are the pinnacle point in terms of their akhlaq, their character, their taqwa, all characteristics about them, would it not be safe that we rest our case and say, look, the masses were following these people, and alhamdulillah, if they have imparted knowledge unto the ummah, which until now no one has objected against, then alhamdulillah, then we find our hifadha and our safety and security also in following such scholars.